They just don't stop. Yeah, they can get through the Suez, just like my trade was going through Suez to trade with America. World War III has officially begun. Not even all in yet. And suddenly our fielded manpower has gone from 2 million to 16. Numbers are actually fairly even. Another interesting thing is they started with about 22 million, so we've inflicted 4 million total, like, that they have not been able to recover. Which is good. Oh, Interlindia's on our side. Bring in the navies. And now I'm going to save up to change my export laws. I told you to take that port. How fast are you? 4 days? Attack him, then go there. Another naval invasion. Damn it! Although they don't have a shipyard, so it doesn't matter so much. How come I have no manpower? Because I've been at war constantly since about 1937. Oh man, lost another heavy cruiser. Damn it. Ooh, yeah, that's why you guys are rather badly damaged. Please, go repair. Suddenly my entire fleet's in for repairs again. Is that another naval invasion? That better not be another naval invasion. Did I just tell you to retreat? I did. I'm glad you didn't. I don't know why you didn't, but I'm glad you didn't. Ooh. They're now on the outskirts of their capital. And once that falls, I strongly suspect that Kurdistan's going to capitulate. At which point I can focus all of my wrath against Tehran. And that will free up Mordred, which I can then redeploy to the European front. That's also going to allow me to redeploy my Persian guard units to my coastline. And I do have a bunch of factories back, that's true. Oh, because of Turkey. I have a lot of factories in Turkey. So how many troops has Persia lost? Because I suspect it's going to be quite a few. Kurdistan's lost 177,000. Turkey's lost Persia's lost 730,000. Take those little spots. Do we have any further promotions that I can give? Somewhat surprisingly, no. You've already got Improv Expert. Improv Expert is the trait that I'm trying to get for all of these guys. You can't yet because you don't have a terrain one. Hillfighter and Ranger are well on the way, so you should do soon. You have it already, you just need Trickster, which you are getting slowly but surely. Okay. Another major attack here. The poor greens have just been up against it this entire time. If I could rotate out the greens for the purples, I would do so. Please take their capital before they fortify it too much. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top. Like now. That'd be great. Thank you. Me, who are you at war with, Mordred? Yes. Pretty much. Stability is also rising nicely. I'm going to say that you lot can just go ahead and deploy, which is going to give another 10 divisions to you for general garrison duty. Just want to make sure that they weren't trying to give me soldiers. They weren't. Are we taking more losses? No, we're actually gaining troops now, which is good. We may yet get a surplus. Love how the name of the field marshal is just Boris. Well, it's not just that. Oh no, Ferdinand's the king, not Boris. Kurdistan has capitulated. Oh, considering how many problems you caused me, finally. So, all of the red units over here. I'm just going to put you into one formation. And I'm going to say that your objective now is Tehran. There we go. And then the orange units over here. Your job is going to be to bolster that line, because you guys have actually been working very well together, but your ultimate objective is this. Go. How's the research on the air propulsion? That's going to take a while, but that's okay. The other thing I could start doing is researching modern tanks. I probably should. What do modern tanks take? Do they take tungsten? No, chromium. Oh, they cheap. They're cheaper in steel. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, we should definitely go for modern tanks. A year too late, but we can start phasing them in. Looks like the flank attack on Tehran is actually going to do it for us. Although we know from experience that we need to take more than just Tehran. Persia is actually quite difficult to conquer. Oh, look at all the Japanese troops coming in. Yes! This is great. I forgot that we had a land border with them and they would just reinforce our main lines. 15 million casualties inflicted. Oh, I was going to say, we've now taken 1.2 million, but that's including our allies. US having already lost 330,000. Somehow, somewhere. In the air, maybe? Oh no, that's against Mexico. Right. Huge fight going on here. And it looks like ships are still being deployed. We've deployed the last 2 Shenres. We are going to need to research more advanced heavy cruisers. Although it now occurs to me, maybe we want to start getting some battleships instead. Wondering how much that will cost me. 11,000 for like the really bog standard. Yeah, battleships are quite a lot more expensive and I'm not convinced that we can really maintain that. So I think I'm going to continue with the heavy cruisers. Especially because they'll just never get deployed because they require like 11,000 manpower. Should probably start researching the more advanced heavy cruiser models. Good amount of veterancy here. Impressive. Still not suffering supply issues. What's going on here? Yeah, suddenly air power seems to be going more our way. Although it's still by no means concrete. And how are we doing for repairs and things? I mean, there are still definitely a couple of things that will need repairs too. I'm just going to add these to the top of the list. But the real priority is going to be civilian factories for sure. We now have 30 civilian factories working. That's good. So we could actually just start buying in some more equipment. At least until we change our export law. Is it BlizzCon today? Is that what I've been missing? Decent battleships are usually between 15,000 and 20,000. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Diablo 4, another mobile game. Oh, okay. Here come the invisible submarines. Modern subs with AIP engines and improved snorkels have a visibility of 1.5. Well, I'm not going to bother with snorkels. I'd rather they add radar so they can actually detect stuff to sink. Though in the Mediterranean, that's less important. We are on the outskirts of Tehran now. That's good. And our flank over here is starting to push in. So I think that Persia is beginning to feel the pressure. Meanwhile, we are getting a lot of positive action here. I guess that's because the Third International fleets have been moved away from my coastline because they are now having to contend with the American and Japanese fleets. So even though they might not actually be helping me here in the Mediterranean, it's still good. Let's see if I can promote you. I can. Wow, you got a fly swatter? Impressive. Have you got anything yet? Yes, you do. Excellent. Including Destroyer Leader. Which, considering you use a lot of destroyers, would be very handy. Are you going to get Fly Swatter? Not anytime soon. You could also get Lancer and Loading Drill. Sure. Don't think I need Hunter Killer. Don't need any of those. So, we're saving the rest of your traits for Ironsides. Recon probably doesn't have any because he's not been fighting. And then apparently the escort guy has been fighting a lot. You definitely want Destroyer Leader. You definitely want Hunter Killer. And possibly Concealment Expert to hide your own fleets. Don't have any command power. Soon we'll have 4 adjacencies to Tehran. Nice. Once Persia falls, I can move those troops out to push the front out Turkey. Yep, that's what I was intending to do. There's a reason I have not focused on them too heavily just yet. Ooh, manpower. It's going to disappear and it's going. Going. Actually hung around longer than I expected. Gone. Garrison units are doing a bit of a counter-attack of their own, which is nice. And all of these French units should be in terrible supply thanks to my submarines. Aha, the attack on Tehran's begun. So how's Persia feeling? Not good. They've lost 1 million. Crikey. Iran, I think, has just fallen. This is also going to be a cut-off against these guys in the top. Yeah, the army is still in the hole for manpower, but I think recovering. Oh no, we're still 400,000 in the hole. Managed once to get Ironside Admiral, had the gunnery trait, had a huge naval war, and he's still only got it in the late 1950s. They've got the balance wrong for that trait. Yeah, they do. And I also dislike that, what's it called? Cruiser Captain is linked to Fly Swatter. Like, why? I think Cruiser Captain should be linked to Fleet Protector in the same way that Destroyer Leader is. Then Fly Swatter with air controller. Or just have fly swatter as part of air controller. I do feel like the Admiral traits could definitely do with another once-over. Naval invasion of Greece, again. But this time we've actually got units guarding, so, denied. And we have shipyards. Ooh. Right, now I really need to pare this down a bit. So we've got interwar. Don't need you. Weltkrieg. Weltkrieg. Pre-Weltkrieg. Weltkrieg. That's better. Dreadnought, battleship, Panzerschiff. Interwar Panzerschiff, but that's just the one that we're using. Cruiser, destroyer, submarine. We can actually get rid of those two. Because these will be obsolete, but we need to keep building them until we get this. So in 2 more months. And in the meantime, I'm going to get some more Batavias, I think. Because we are woefully short on destroyers. We are buying a lot of steel from the US. Oh no, we have... No, I have not lost any convoys, actually. We still have 1,401. I've just seen this number going down, but that's because I'm doing more trade as opposed to losing convoys. We're still not taking Tehran. Come on, people. There we have. And we have factories available. Okay, so what are we short on? Fighters, tactical bombers, support equipment, heavy tanks, infantry equipment. Wow, we burned through our 100,000 supply. Damn. Okay, keep the imports coming then. Have we changed the export law? No, we have not. That's a good point. Let's make this limited exports. And then... suddenly my metals problem becomes rather less of a problem. Submarine operations. Keep working down there. Cut off. I mean, he's in a port. He should be getting supply, but still, cut off is a cut off. Very annoying. Can we hurry up with Persia, please? Kind of need those troops elsewhere. But then again, the more troops that France pours in to Turkey, the bigger the cutoff's going to be when I do eventually turn around and squish them. So it's not the end of the world that we haven't done it yet. War propaganda against Japan. That makes no sense. So even though it would really help me, I'm not going to do it. Okay, Persia's now really starting to feel the pinch. I will need to leave a couple of units over on the Persian front, but most of them I can shift. How's the Baltic looking? They've not done anything in the Baltic, which is weird, because they do own Denmark and Sweden. Would really like a change to casualties in this game where they split between the killed, wounded, and missing captured, so you can have espionage missions to try and get your captured soldiers back, and field hospitals only work on the wounded fraction. That would be interesting. They take Crete? Oh, they did. I'm a little bit surprised it took them as long as it did, frankly. Oh, here come even more Japanese troops. Just flooding in. I really hope that we're getting more aerial superiority. Less than I feel like we should have. Okay, we're finally winning the fight up there in the north. Although, were there any actual victory points up there? So that's just killing a pocket, as opposed to anything really useful. Will Isfahan do it? It might do. Yeah, probably will. Their side's now lost 17 million. What do I think of the tactic of completely surrounding the enemy capitals but not capturing it so the enemy army starves since they're all out? Since all supply originates from the capital. I've seen a couple of people do that on YouTube and it was very cheesy. I'm just wondering what's your view on the tactic. Cheesy as hell and I refuse to do it. Not the way I like to play these games. Kind of defeats the purpose of it being a World War II game where you can just surround their capital but not actually take it. Like, that's weird. So, nope. Won't see me do it. Did we take Ish? Oh, we did. They still haven't capitulated. 99%, of course they are. Just need to say Kerman. Northern sector has fallen, so we should have our full weight of our army coming down here. Although I think what I'm going to do immediately is I'm just going to shift half of you into that force right now. So 33 divisions where I needed, what, 19? We should be pretty safe against naval invasion after that. There it is. Persia has capitulated. Got a little bit of equipment, but not a huge amount. And then your job is going to be now securing that coastline, for which you only need 5 men. I will leave you with 7.